You know how many people think like it's some sort of act, like, oh boy, his voice probably doesn't sound like that. Maybe his cadence isn't like that. He doesn't make those same jokes. I'm the same guy.
Because I've met you, so when I watch your videos, it makes it better because I'm like, that's so funny because that's just how he talks.
Yeah.
You're not doing a persona, you're not putting on anything else. You're literally just like, that's how you talk. It's gonna sound weird, but you're sticky.
Sticky? You're sticky? That's an interesting, I've never heard, well.
No, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all
ages.
ages. It is I, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical, individual, sticky,
Chiseled
individual,
Adonis.
chiseled Adonis. And he is a serial entrepreneur, the Filipino Prince Tycoon, buttery Rene Lacan. And we are Assiduous.
Assiduous.
Yes, but it's the beauty of being able to do something that is recognized by your peers.
Well, you're doing it on purpose now. Recognize.
You know? Well, yeah, it's certain sort of, like once I start, I can't turn it off. But it's a beautiful thing, and really, I think what there's 4 things that we have been granted, piece of, or I should say, power over when you're in a situation where you're relatively your own boss. So you have freedom of time, freedom of purpose, freedom of relationship, and freedom of money. And having that
time, purpose, relationship, money.
Time, purpose, relationship, money, and you're in complete control of that. Yeah. I think that's probably one of the biggest fulfilling things of going on this journey, being able to wake up whenever you want, purchase whatever you want, hang out with whoever you want, actually be able to build that relationship with whoever you want. Because let's just say if you're on the employee line, you're at the bottom of the pyramid, you try to become a friend with the CEO, they're just gonna look at you like you're a peon, because oftentimes those egos separate them.
Money opens a lot of doors.
Money opens a lot of doors.
And more than that, I think there's 2 things. Because people ask me, I was going live on social media the other day. Like, why do you do this? Why do you teach people on social media? Don't you just create more competition for yourself? Aren't you scared of that? And I tell people, the reason I teach people is because there's more than enough opportunity to go around. But more than that, if I help someone, the first thing they do is, this Rene guy is awesome.
Right.
He helped me. What do? They follow me. They tell their friends about me. I get bigger. The more famous I get, the more doors open up. You know, I'm about to hit 800,000 on TikTok, which is cool.
Ooh, like flex.
But everything else grows with that. The more doors open up, more people see about me. I have 200 million impressions on my own personal socials. So it's like, the more famous you get, the more doors open up. And fame and money, not all the time, unfortunately, but in my case, they're tied together. So the more famous I get, the more money I make. The more money I make, the more doors open up as well. Because fame and money open doors.
Yep.
You get invited to places. People want to network with you. Like you said, if there's a CEO, he's going to want to pay attention to what you have to say. He's not going to just ignore you. If there's someone you want to network with, whether it's a celebrity or a figure, they're gonna be open to it if you have something to offer, like fame or money. So fame and money open doors. And it just creates a beautiful life of freedom and being able to do whatever you want.
And the biggest thing of all of it is the value that you now have. So anywhere that you go, you can always leverage that value. Because a lot of times when people are in different situations, let's just say you don't have your own business, you're just regular worker, you're not in a situation to where you're in a job or career, I should say, you're just in a job. So you're replaceable. You may feel like you're not, but then if you were to lose your job, somebody else would just come in and fill it immediately, right? A lot of times people feel as if they don't have value. I think when you're in a situation where you create your own thing, you now have that value that you can go talk to a CEO, you can go and talk to a COO, you can go and talk to anybody and they'll pick your brain about something. So, okay, this guy does this business, this guy does this kind of career path. Well, how do I do this? How can this translate here? And now all of a sudden you can have a conversation with anybody. And that's really one of the biggest, powers I think we have, to where we can walk into any room and be able to have a conversation with literally anybody across all platforms.
Well, talking about that, we've both had the past, we haven't filmed in a month, so I think we're gonna miss an episode, but we've both had really busy months. You've been flying all over the place, I've been flying all over the place. I recently just came from Vegas, LA. But in Vegas, I met Damon John for a second time. And it was actually like a full circle moment. Because the first time I met him, I was broke. I was like 21 years old, 22 years old. Had a 9-to-5 job. I was really trying to figure out entrepreneurship. And I remember meeting him. And it was almost like a surreal thing. Because I'm like, wow, this is an entrepreneur. But the terms I met him in was he met up with my old boss.
Right.
So this time around, it was funny. I told him a dad joke. He didn't laugh 5 years ago. So this time around, meeting him, it's because the event I was at, they booked a hotel for me. They wanted me to be like an influencer for the event. They wanted me to post videos for the event. And he was speaking at the event. And at the end of the event, I ended up meeting him again.
Right.
And then this time I told him a dad joke obviously we're meeting under different terms this time. Before it's because I was an employee. Now it's because I'm a boss.
Yeah.
But I meet him, I tell him a dad joke, and he this time he does laugh, and he even says like, you know what? That's good. I'm gonna use that one. And it was just like a full circle moment. And it was beautiful.
Right.
But what was the joke? The joke? Oh, the joke. What did I say? I said, yo, how do billboards talk?
What do billboards talk? I don't know.
Sign language.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, that's what it was. It's clever.
Yeah. Why is I prepared, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of nervous. I was like, man, I need to come with heat. I looked at like 7, 8 of them. What makes scarecrows good entrepreneurs?
They stand still.
No, they're outstanding in their field.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. Why haven't I?
No.
It just went over my head. I should have said stoic.
Do you know why in Norway they're putting barcodes on their ships?
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still going. Okay, so the barcodes.
Yeah, in Norway they're putting barcodes on their ships.
Barcodes on their ships. I don't know.
So they can scan the Navian.
Yeah. It's that one.
right.
The other two, they got my attention. This one here, not so much.
Fine. All right, last one before we go. So my friend, she just got her real estate license. Now she's my homegirl.
Wow.
That one fucked him up. He was dying.
I love the tension.
Right? It's like, now she's my homegirl. You see what I did there? It's like, imagine if you were to repeat it. You heard what I said? I said, why? Because she's my homegirl. It's like Paulie Walnuts. Like they say, you gotta say it twice. You gotta say it twice. Yeah, but that's great, man. You have a full circle moment, and you meet under different circumstances. And if he had remembered, because oftentimes people don't. It's like, oh, well, you meet a bunch of different people.
Right.
But then now I meet you, you're at a completely different stage.
Yeah.
Now you look at that like, in reflection in the past of who you were then versus now, it really shows the growth.
And what's wild is you see, there's almost an aura when it comes to this stuff too, because you see it in the pictures. We took a picture 5 years ago, took a picture recently at this event. And when you look at me, you see the aura of a completely different human being. And money will do that to you. Money, success, accomplishments will change you. Because before, like you see the way I'm standing, I'm kind of like this. I'm kind of like hunched over, right? And it's not that I wasn't confident or anything, but it just didn't show in my body language.
Right.
Like I might have thought it in my head, but either my body, my spirit, my soul didn't feel it. Because this time around, you see me and I'm kind of like smiling, chest up, head held high. Like there's no one else in the picture. Before it was a group of us that met him. This time around, it was just me and him standing in the picture. So it was cold, man. But it leads me to think too, I think that's part of the reason, right? Because you said part of that was like purpose and passion. People were talking about burnout. I hear this all the time. Like, how do you avoid burnout? You're running so many businesses. Don't you burn out? And I tell them burnout is for people that are doing something they don't love, something they're not passionate about.
Right.
Because like I said, this past month, I feel like you don't run out of gas. You've been traveling back and forth. I went from Miami to LA to Vegas, back to LA, and I did a bunch of stuff. Every single day I was doing something.
Yeah.
There was never like a break in between. This is about 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, right? But I never burned out because I always felt like I was doing something I loved, something I was passionate about, something that was awesome. Like given I'm still working, but I'm working from a 5-star hotel or a $1 billion hotel in Vegas. I'm working from a $7 million house in Malibu. It makes your life fun. So yes, you're working. Yes, you're being productive. Yes, you're doing something constructive, but at the same time, you're enjoying it. I think if you could combine the two where you're doing something constructive that you enjoy and you can do it while making money and making an impact, bruh.
Yeah, that's
You
why
turn
they
into
say
a fucking beast.
That's why they say when you doing something that you love, you never feel as if you're working. Because this entire summer, I've been all over the place. Like whether it's been back and forth to Miami, I went to Portland, I was out in Boston, I
Italy,
went to
Europe.
No, and maybe not so much Italy, but in Europe, went to Greece. I was out there. Went to Texas a couple of times. Went to Virginia, and it seemed like every week I was going somewhere. But
He's been flexing on me and David too. David, he's been flexing us in the group chat. We're like, yo, we filming the podcast. Man, I can't. I'm here in Paris right now.
yeah, I was.
Internet in Paris is
Yo, who?
Right, it's terrible.
I
It is bad.
can't upload a podcast. The internet in Paris. Hey, yo, who was in Paris?
Yeah, I was. But
Who was in Paris?
Oh, in Paris? No, I just got recognized in Paris.
No, but who was in Paris?
Oh well, I can't go there. I can't go there. Let's just say
You're the
that
only one that can go there.
Negroes were in Paris.
can't go there.
Because I have me and the N-word don't get along. But one way or another, I was all over the place, and why I never burnt out was because, again, you're living in your purpose. You love what it is that you do. Because, for example, like if you're in a situation where you're doing stuff and it's only about money, at one point you're gonna hit a plateau.
Yeah.
And once you reach that plateau, it's like, all right, I'm bored now. So then you're gonna start to outsource. You're gonna end up being at a point where you'll somewhat detach from
At
what it
some
is that
point,
you're
the
actually
money
doing.
doesn't cost. At some point, the money isn't worth your happiness.
Right.
And you'll notice that a lot with people that like have professions that they did for the money. It's they start making money and they're like, okay, now that I make 300 grand a year, I don't really care for this anymore. And that's when the unhappiness starts to creep back in.
Right.
Because they think money's gonna be happiness for them. It's gonna fix their life. Then they realize, oh, the money isn't all that.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be the fix, but it's not. Because happiness is an inside job. Happiness is a lot deeper than that. Happiness comes from within, and you only really get there if you put in the work.
Right.
All facets of your life.
Right. It's like when because in the past we talked about like the importance of money, because money is not the only thing. Money is necessary, right? You won't be in a situation where you're going to live a very fulfilling life. Everything is perfect. You don't have money. Never fall for that. It's usually the broke people.
So
who lie to
that's
you
the
like
thing.
that.
I do think it exists. I think there's homeless people that are happy and they're like, "Ooh, I love the streets."
Yeah, but those are anomalies.
Yeah, those are
those are in complete outliers.
If you look at the statistics, if you look at just the facts, right? We're gonna talk concrete numbers here. The odds of depression are 2 to 3 times higher for people living in poverty.
Yep, 100%.
People that make under $70,000 a year, and this study was done years ago, are far unhappier than people that make over $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
So money, to an extent, does matter.
And,
you need
and
to
on
make.
top of that, just to add and piggyback off of it is a lot of those individuals who are making under the 70, vast majority of the time they're trying to keep up with the Joneses of those who are making over 100. So if you just made an adjustment, you wouldn't find yourself in a situation where you're completely depressed or whatever the case may be. Just to add to that, but you can.
But yeah, 100%. Life starts at $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. You can start making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. Doors will open up like you've never known. The lifestyle gap between people making, let's say you're making $5-6 grand a month versus 20, 30 grand a month, the lifestyle and the happiness gap is the biggest there.
Yeah.
Because from 30 to 100 grand a month, and I've made this jump, you're not much happier. I'm not much happier when I was making 30 grand a month and now I'm making over 100 grand every single month. I'm not that much happier. Like, don't give in. There are some things that are nice, but it doesn't just change my life drastically. But that $6,000 to $30,000 a month gap, fucking life changes.
Yeah.
Now you get to experience the finer things, right? There's a $250,000 club a year where if you make it out of that club, you get to experience what nice restaurants are like, what nice experiences are like, what traveling to nice places are like, what nice hotels are like. There's an exclusive club for those really rich people.
And what's interesting about it, because even if you're on the lower end, you can always experience it and take a taste. You just won't have it on the level of consistency that the other individuals do. Because a lot of times people feel as if they don't have it consistently, that's usually where that depression usually kicks in.
Yeah.
Because you'll be in a situation where you go to this 5-star hotel, you'll go to this resort, you'll eat at that restaurant, you'll drive that car, you'll take this flight, but you'll only be able to do that maybe once or twice a year. So because that's the case, and then immediately you try to keep up with the Joneses, you see this person on a private jet every other week.
Yeah.
You see this person constantly having fine dining. You see this person wearing the, incredibly expensive jewels, or maybe it's the clothes, or maybe it's the shoes. Now you're trying to live a lifestyle that you aren't at. Right? So there's ways to find a happiness despite the fact that you could be at that $6,000 a month or maybe even lower, but you have to find, I don't want to say balance, because I think now it's gotten to the point where it's very nuanced, But if you're in a position where you look at it like, all right, you're making this amount, you have to have that plan, as we always talk about. You have to have that plan to where you make it work. Just don't try to keep up with the Joneses.
I think it's falling in love with the grind more.
Right.
Because when you fall in love with the grind, everything else comes secondary, and then you gain everything else. And when I say the grind, I mean building, because there's a difference between building and just grinding, right? A lot of people grind too much, they don't build enough.
Yeah.
So grinding is when you're just working 24/7 and you're not building. Grinding is at a job. You go to a job, you're grinding. That's a grind. You're making money.
Yeah.
Great. Building is when you're building something for your future. So your YouTube channel, it's a grind, but you are also building, because you grind, but then you get more subscribers, you get more viewership, you build more fans. So you're building an audience, which eventually leverages your grind. So in the beginning, you were grinding for free. Then you're grinding for $5,000 a month. Then you're grinding for 10 grand a month. Then you grind for 50 grand a month, right? Eventually, like Mr. Beast, he's still grinding.
Yeah,
Dude is
still
making
grinding.
crazy videos, but now his grinds are like $10 million, $20 million, $30 million grinds. So at some point, that grind, if you're building correctly, it becomes a leveraged grind.
Yeah, and it goes back to purpose, because with Mr. Beast, I love the fact that you had, I'll do it like the Patrick Bet David. I love the fact that you said the Mr. Beast, because people still
That was
can't
like a
wrap their
Dracula
mind
thing.
around. Right? It's weird, because I remember he was talking to somebody, and then he had to, I love that you said that. It's funny the way it rolls off of his tongue when he says it. But the thing with the grind is people will always say, all right, well, what's the end to the means, right? Rather than the means to the end. It's the means that matters.
Yeah.
It's that in-between time that matters. It's just like with the gravestone analogy. It's not the birth date and the death date. It's that dash in between, right? So because people, they constantly say, well, if the end goal is 1 million, the end goal is 10 million, the end goal is 50 million, you don't care about the journey to have got there. You only care about the end result. Ultimately, you'll look back like, man, I didn't actually enjoy the time of building and growing. Like people on social media, like anybody who goes live, if you're somebody who has 1,000 followers or you're somebody who has 100,000, you have to appreciate the moments that you go live and you have 3 people in the room, or maybe nobody's there. If you're truly enjoying the grind, you'll do it regardless. I can't tell you how many people I've encountered, because in my space in content creation, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the case is, I can't tell you how many people just quit. They'll start, they'll be like, man, nobody's watching. You have to appreciate the times that you have 10 likes.
Right.
You have to appreciate the time that you finally boom and you get like 50 to 100 or whatever. You have to enjoy those, because that's when it's really fulfilling. When you can smile all day knowing that you got like 10 likes on a post that you put hours into, the moment that it gets to 1,000, the numbers won't affect you.
Right.
You'll feel the same way because you enjoyed the process.
Well, that's a good example of that. This podcast is a perfect example.
Right.
Because I was writing down all the ways I make money on my board. Right. Because people are like, so what businesses do you have? And I was listing all the businesses, like supplement company, make about 100 grand a month. I have my agency, makes about 50 grand a month. I have the education company, I sell courses, make about 20 grand a month doing that. So I have all of these things. I was listing them out. What else do I do? What else occupies my time? What else do I think about constantly? I'm like, the podcast. I think about the podcast. Like, well, how much do you make on that? I was like, nothing yet. But I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because, one, I really enjoy this. I saw a comment on our thing. We don't get many comments on the podcast yet, but someone's like, this was an outstanding episode. We had like 40 views.
Right.
But someone commented, this was an outstanding episode, took a lot of insights and value from this. I was like, that's fire.
Right.
I'm happy someone watched this and they liked it. So yeah, I think if you do it because you like it, it'll never feel like a job. And if you can start making money from it.
Right. That's the ultimate cheat code. And we've said this like ad nauseum at this point. We're in a day and age now where truly you can monetize anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
And we don't have to try to, beat the dead horse, but that you just have to find what is it that you're really passionate about? What is it that you really enjoy? And you would do, if money didn't exist, you would still do this.
Right.
You just find a way to create, not necessarily a hustle around it, but find a way to make it monetizable.
Well, so this is a cool thing, actually. You're going to see the video. At my event, David was there. He's producing the show. At my event, I was saying, give me anything, and I'll show you guys how to make money from it. Because people don't believe you. You say it, they're like, okay, you're full of shit, whatever.
Yeah.
But I said, give me anything. I'll teach you how to make money from it. This girl, she said, oh, I make videos with my bunnies on TikTok. I'm like, okay, interesting. That's a cute one. You have bunnies. Obviously, you like them. They're your pets. You make videos with them. I was like, cool. Here's how you would do it. I asked her, So you have bunnies. Here's what you do. You make videos with your bunnies, but you have to have a product attached to it, right? It could be anything. A vehicle to a monetization vehicle. So I told her, I was like, yo, you should literally just make like organic bunny pellets.
Right.
And then make a video. Hey, I only feed my bunnies these organic pellets because I want them to live longer, right? And now every bunny person in the world that sees this, that feels the way you do, that relates to you, they're gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna buy those pellets for my bunny. Super weird shit, like making videos of bunnies. But you can make money with that. And then we did the math, because she was like, oh, I've been making videos for them already. I was like, how much does your most viewed video have? She goes, 1.8 million. I was like, how much did you make off that? She's like, nothing. I'm like, you do realize that if you had put a link in your bio to a store that sold bunny pellets, 1.8 million, let's say 1% of people, like 18,000 people, click the link in your bio. And out of that 18,000 people, 10% bought the pellets.
Yep.
Breaks down to about
1,800.
1,800. You'd say you sell them for $30 for the organic bunny pellets, cruelty-free. That's like $30,000, $40,000
Yep.
that you made off one video. I think the biggest issue is people don't look at how to turn whatever they love into money.
Right.
Because I see it all the time. People are like, Renee, I got 100,000 followers. I'm getting a bunch of views. I'm not making any money. It's like, because you're not trying to monetize.
You're not marketing anything. Like even with affiliates.
Yeah.
Like with people now with Amazon, literally anybody can make money. There's a lot of the fashion content creators who they'll go on Amazon, they'll purchase something like, oh, I just got this dress or whatever. You constantly see in the comment section, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?
Exactly.
Just get the affiliate link. You just put it in there. Even if you don't want to be the face of a company. Like now they have like the avatars and stuff like that. Or maybe they're like animal content. Hello there, Bijou. Let's say you're in a situation where you now record the day in the life of a dog. Right? You don't have to visibly be there.
Well, listen, someone got me with animal content. Well, they got my girl. They didn't get me because I'm a man. We don't think things are cute.
Good save.
Yeah, right. Good say. We don't think. Actually, I have an issue with the word.
If you think something's cute, it's gay.
Yeah. You're right. Homosexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, as you were saying.
Masculine. No, but they got my girl with a little puppy content. Look, there's a video, a dog that presses buttons on TikTok.
Yeah.
Super viral, millions of followers, and she's like, ooh, I want one of these buttons. And she bought the buttons. It works. But check this out. Hold up. Podcast, check this out. This is gonna be the coolest shit you ever seen in your life. Hold up.
As we wait for the button.
I'm gonna show you guys. I trained him how to do this. No, I didn't train him. That's gay. My girl trained him how to do this.
Training dogs is homosexual.
Check this out. Check this out. Look, my dog, he knows how to press a button. I trained him. David, you let me know.
Hang on.
You press that button, dog, and you make us not look embarrassing. If you don't
He
press
can do
the
it. He's a
dog-
professional. You good? Press your button. Bijou, press your button.
Yeah, press the button.
Oh, no, come up here, bro. Press your button.
Or you shall be eaten.
Come up. Come up. Press your button.
Oh, he's pressing the button. See that? The
Press it
dog
harder. Here, go. You guys hear that?
Oh.
Press it again. Press it again. Hold up. Harder. Press your button. Come on, buddy.
Oh.
Look at that.
It says, I love you.
He does love me.
Yeah, you see? Well-trained dog, you will not be eaten today. All right? I can't say the same for next time, dog. But what kind of seasoning you think goes? Well, one way or another, you know, the what's going on? Yes.
Whoa. He's appropriating my culture again, bro.
See, that's right. That's a good joke
Super
right there.
two.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, sometimes you gotta eat. You know, gotta do what you gotta do. Although I've never. Lemon pepper dog. Lemon
Listen,
pepper
buddy,
dog.
we're not gonna eat you.
We're talking about hot dogs.
Right, hot dogs, yeah. There is a brand of dog that is a hot dog than one of those wiener dogs. But one way or another, would those be considered the dicks of dogs? But one way or another, you know, with all of the business, right? You have to find ways that you go and make it marketable, you monetize. And that way you really have that fulfillment that exists there.
Facts.
Just to circle everything, you know, back.
Facts.
Because people, like you said, they don't really take into account how you can monetize what it is that you do. Because even if you don't want to make a whole business or a side hustle out of it, out of what it is that you really enjoy, because some people feel as if it will sap the love and joy from what it is that they really enjoy doing, because now they feel like, well, I have to deliver and make content that'll go viral or whatever.
But the thing is, sometimes it's not even the way you expect it. There's a great movie on Netflix. It's called, I'm sorry. It's not this movie. There's a great movie. What movie is it? Oh, no, I'm thinking White Man Can't Jump.
Oh.
Okay, so White Man Can't Jump, the new one. Have you seen the new one?
No, I have not.
It's extremely pandery, so at some point it gets a little cringy.
Yeah.
But there is a lesson to be learned from that. Essentially, Jack Harlow is the white man who can't jump.
Right.
And he wants, his entire story is he wants to be a professional NBA player.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the league. And by the end of the movie, spoiler alert, sorry guys. By the end of the movie, he comes to terms with, you know what? I'm just not built for the NBA. Like my knees are all, I'm too injury prone. I'm not going to make it to the league. But he settles for becoming an NBA trainer.
Right.
So he trains NBA players because he has great fundamentals.
Yeah.
He understands the game. And when you look at that, it's like, that's amazing. Most people think that there's only one route to their dream life, right? They think, I have to go to the NBA or bust, league or bust. Realistically, the odds of that happening, very slim to none.
Yeah.
Very, very few people go there. And at the end of the day, God doesn't deal you the right cards, right? But that doesn't mean you can't monetize your passion. You can be an NBA trainer. You can work with athletes. You can work in the basketball space. You can go semi-pro, right? Depending on what you want to do. There's a lot of people that think there's only one path, but in reality, you have to find the path that you can do that still allows you to use your passion and monetize it, even if it's not the way you want it, because life's not going to be perfect.
Right.
Not everything's going to be the way you want it. If it were up to me, I'd be a professional fighter. I'd be a professional NBA player. I'd be a professional rapper. I do all of these things for fun. I fight for free. I play basketball for free. And I make rap music because I think it's fun, but that doesn't mean it's what's meant for me.
100%. I'm glad that you said that regarding the pivot, because there's like two Instagram accounts that come to mind. One, really content creators, Lethal Shooter on Instagram. That dude who's just lights out, just does not miss, can't miss 2 in a row, whatever the case is. Constantly people talk about, man, why is he not in the league? He had a bad injury, and then that was pretty much it. But I'm pretty sure his biggest goal was make it to the NBA. He pivoted. Now he's a shooting trainer, and he's got probably make more money now than he would have if he made it to the NBA, because although you could be a sniper of a shooter or whatever, really look at the best players in the NBA outside of just Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's all world. He can do everything, right? If you're just a shooter, you can become a journeyman. Now your whole family, let's just say you got a wife, you got
now you're going bouncing all over the country.
You're bouncing all over the place.
They're
look at people like
trading
Kyle Korver. Maximum amount of time you'll spend in certain locations.
Kyle Korver, I like
right?
Kyle Korver.
You know? No, not even like him,
like you could be like
Peja Stojakovic, a lot of those different guys where you'll be somewhere, but then you'll have to up and relocate, go somewhere else. Now you're in control of your entire destiny, right? And then also Destroying on YouTube, who does the football content. He was a kicker at UCF, I believe, and then once they said, well, you have to choose between content creation or, keep kicking at a D1 college, he went content creation. And now, despite the fact that he would love to play in the NFL, he has more leverage, and he's able to go and create content.
I saw him he was doing videos with NFL players.
Yeah, with NFL, damn near every single time.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is just find that pivot, find ways to make it work. And truly, the fulfillment behind it, you're still doing what it is that you love. You're still walking in your purpose. It's just a different avenue.
Exactly.
Right? You're still walking, and truly and I think we could end up closing with this portion here, where the biggest thing I think for me of everything that I've done is be able to affect the lives of the people that I love the most. And that's what I really love the most about what it is that content creation, entrepreneurship has afforded me, right? Because earlier this year, probably my number one achievement in life, I was able to pay off my parents' mortgage, right? So $75,000 big check, right? I can't tell you how many years had to go into this. And it happened off of a whim, because I told myself last April, I'm gonna pay my parents' mortgage. Originally, I wasn't gonna do it because they made bad financial decisions where I was in a situation where I didn't know what meal, if there was gonna be a meal or anything. But I remember since I was maybe about 13, I came up with a budget for them. Hey, do this. We can save this much per month. We could put this because initially my target goal was when we're 27, we should be able to pay off the mortgage. Of course, things happen, but it wasn't going to be any of my contribution. It was just, I figured out how I could use my money, my parents, money coming in, how they would be able to put money towards this, pay off the principal. I started learning about the interest and everything, but ultimately they never followed through with any of it. So I told myself, all right, I'm gonna pay off my parents' mortgage, and I made it a mission. So for 8 months, 100% balls to the wall, grinded like no other. Finally, when the start of the year came, I said, I'm in the position where I could do it. Got this big presentation check, brought it over there, told them, like I had the printout of the paper from whoever the mortgage lender was. Hey, we got it paid off and everything. Easily, probably the #1 most fulfilling moment from everything that I did. Because ultimately, my goal in creating content, being on YouTube, being on Instagram, it was never for me.
Yeah.
It was for the people that was around me. So I was able to do a number of different things. For one, paid off my mortgage. This entire year, my brother, he doesn't work. He's for me. He works for me. Kind of have him on a payroll for the entirety of the year, just so he can get his health in order. Because he's morbidly obese. He was 411 pounds at the start of the year.
Now?
350. And he actually
60 pounds in a year. It's crazy.
Yeah, 61. And I think he may have dropped a bit more because he sent me his last weigh-in this morning, so I didn't get a chance to see it.
What's the
yet.
goal for him? How much you
Well,
trying to get?
I want him to drop at least 100. At least 100, right? Because he wants to get like to 225 pounds.
Yeah.
So there's much more work to be done. But by the end of this year, I told him if we don't lose 100 pounds, at least we failed. So he's got to get down to at least 310. At least 310. And we're well on our way. And I told him, like, hey, we're in our final stretch of the year. So you've got to get 100% into it. And now I started doing something on my Instagram where I do like a daily check-in because I go to the gym maybe 5 to 6 times per week. So I just tag him in my story and he has to repost a video of him exercising. So
that.
keep people accountable, right? So I was able to pretty much sponsor him for the entire year and match whatever salary that he had at his job. Leave your job for a whole year. You're with me, you just train and then take care of your business. He's gonna go, he has 1 class left for school, so he's just gonna get his degree. So if he has to work a job as he's building, music, he can actually demand a particular kind of salary.
That's a dream,
he has
man.
the people,
It's a dream.
right? So as there's that, I was able to get my cousin started with YouTube because he wanted to start a YouTube channel. So I handed him a check for like 10,000 last year, and yesterday he got to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And that was dope. And then ultimately, I think the last thing I was able to do was I was able to buy a car. I was able to buy a car. So I've been able to be in a situation where I can do these things based on doing something that I love.
Right.
So that was easily the most fulfilling, portion of being in entrepreneurship, being able to, wake up any time that I wanted and chase after a dream.
You hear it all the time, man. It's impact over income.
Right.
Impact over income. The money is great, but the feeling you get from helping the people around you, second to none, bro.
Yeah. And I know you just celebrated a birthday. You went out when you was out in California and you stayed at this luxurious place by the water.
There was a huge place by the water. And I think it's crazy, right? Because my mom, she hasn't seen any of this stuff. She's an immigrant. She comes from a third world country. Growing up, she made like 30 grand a year. So we didn't have a chance to like go on yachts, to be in nice places. So for her to just be able and be in the $7 million house by the beach, it's like the feeling you get from that, it's incomparable.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great point to end it on, man. I like this episode a lot.
Yeah, man. It's all about fulfillment, man. Because people,
banger.
they'll look at the end result. You'll look at LeBron James when he's 38. You won't see the LeBron James when he was 13, 14. You'll look at, the Mike Tysons, when he was at his prime knocking people out, but you won't look at the age 12 to 17 as he was building towards, becoming that absolute animal. They'll look at the Alis. You'll look at the finished product, but you won't look back at the inception and then the growth to become that absolute monster or that beast that now can continually win. There's a lot of losing and winning. There's a ton of losing and winning, but you have to be able to endure the adversities, right? And that once you make it through there, the fulfillment that you get at the end goal, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, man.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Assiduous podcast featuring yours truly, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous individual, sticky individual, the
You almost had it.
chiseled Adonis.
You almost had it.
I am the serial entrepreneur, Filipino prince, tycoon, buttery, Rene Lacade. And this is
Assiduous.
Assiduous.